The reason I'm doing this video today concerning the radio box for the OFNA Hyper 10 SC is because I just recently saw a review on the Hyper 10 that was done by a fellow that's got hundreds of reviews up on YouTube, and he's quite well respected in the RC car community. And he was comparing the OFNA to the Slash 4x4 and the Jammin, amongst other things. So one of the negatives that he gave the OFNA was the lack of a radio box. And I agree with him. Like, I have no dispute that I wish that OFNA would have provided a way to protect your receiver on the vehicle, because if you're racing at some of the tracks like I am, especially after they water the track down, the car can collect a lot of mud and dirt. The chassis is such that it doesn't seem to deflect anything, and the interior of the vehicle can just take a lot of abuse from mud. And just to point out, and I guess most of you are well aware, that OFNA isn't the only one that's sort of overlooked this. Team Associated does the same thing with most of their 1/10 scale electric vehicles, like the SC10, the T4, the B4, you name it. None of them really come with any form of protection for the receiver. So, you know, it leaves it to us to get a little bit creative about how to protect that receiver if that's what we want to do. And I certainly do, because I don't want to fry any electronics. I want to be able to go out in any track condition and have fun. I don't enjoy cleaning up the car after a muddy day, but at least I know that my electronics are protected. So I'm just going to cover over a couple of things that, or what I did to solve that. And I have to say that, you know, it's not rocket science and it's not expensive. They're all like $5, $6 solutions, and they're very easy to implement. So, and what you get is the protection for your receiver that you're looking for. So I'm not sure if I was to criticize the car that I would list the lack of a radio box as a major fault. It is a fault in my opinion, and like I say, I'm not disagreeing with the fellow, but if I was comparing it against another vehicle, like say the Slash, who are known for their waterproof electronic systems, I'm not sure that the lack of a radio box would be enough to make my purchase decision sway one way or the other. And it certainly doesn't affect the handling or the performance of the vehicle in any way. It's a maintenance item, and it's a protection item for your expensive electronics. So to my point here, you can see on this SC10, it, like the OFNA, does not come with any form of radio box or receiver box. And all I did is I took the the box from a Traxxas Slash, which is available separately as a part number for about $5 or $6, and it fits perfectly in the chassis, and it solved the problem. It's kind of a no-brainer. It's not even worth spending much more time talking about. Double-sided sticky tape on the bottom to hold it to the chassis. Receiver goes inside, and the receiver is now waterproof and mudproof. So the same thing for the T4. This one is out of a Rustler, actually, because the box is a little bit smaller and the space in the chassis wasn't quite as generous as on the SC10, of course. And it fits perfectly, and again, does the job it was intended to do. Keeps all of the water out and mud and things like that, and keeps your receiver nice and clean. So on the OFNA, there was a little bit more of a challenge because of the shape of the chassis. You know, it's quite tapered at the back, and it's hard. There's not a lot of real estate on the chassis to install things. And I found this Team Associated radio box or receiver box out of a GT2. And it was, I think, $5 and change. And again, it was just double-sided sticky tape to the chassis. Receiver goes inside, run your wiring. It's actually got a little port for the antenna off the top, as you can see. And everything stays nice and clean. So there's probably not a lot of reason to spend a lot of time talking about this, but in terms of a weakness to the OFNA chassis or the OFNA design itself, yeah, I wished it would have come with something that protected the receiver, but like I say, for $5 and 5 minutes work, it's a problem that you can solve yourself. And it certainly wouldn't deter me from buying this vehicle. Okay, so that's it for the day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.